As you probably know, theaters on the Great White Way are really hurting, and our question tonight is the typical family simply being priced out of the seats. Tonight we'll meet this powerhouse on Broadway who says, no way, prices haven't gone up any faster there than any place else. This famous producer who says, pshaw, Broadway's in real trouble, and if they don't do something, it all may go dark soon. You'll hear from both of them. First, some background. There's nothing quite like a hit on Broadway, show-stopping tunes playing to a packed house. But these days, success stories like Singin' in the Rain are increasingly rare, fewer clouds with silver lining. The Great White Way is no longer awash with hits like Cats. Some houses play to half-empty seats. Broadway is hurting. You don't have to be a scientist to figure out the reason. Rising ticket prices. They've gone up 13% every year for the past decade. Today, a pair of good tickets to a good show runs you about $45 each. Add that to the cost of dinner and parking and a babysitter and maybe a drink or dessert after the show, and for the average family, you are talking about big money.
We're from Clinton, South Carolina. We saw 42nd Street and the Mystery of Edwin Drood. We came expecting to pay big prices, and we did.
It's not as if Broadway hasn't tried to buck the trend of high-priced tickets. At half-price places like Tickets here in Times Square, people will stand in line for hours looking for a break.
People that worked all their lives, they would spend $50, $60 on a plate. They'd rather go to a movie, you know, and pay maybe $3, $4, you know.
I also think theater is for the people, and at $45, it's out of the reach of a lot of people.
Broadway's trade association is trying to get over its reputation for high prices. It recently released a study showing Broadway prices have not gone up more than any other consumer goods, like food and lodging and transportation.
Subway prices went up faster, movie prices went up faster. In the prices in the economy as a whole went up faster.
Food, clothing, and housing are necessities. They come first. You can't do without them, but you can do without the theater.
And that brings us to the heart of the matter. Are the high prices for tickets killing Broadway? Joining me right now is Joe Papp. Probably most of you know him. He's best-known producer I know anyway. What do you think? Are we crying alarm? I mean, prices have always been high on Broadway, comparatively speaking. You're saying it's going to go dark. You serious?
Well, what's happening is that even people who have the money to pay this are not seemingly not coming to the theater. There are plenty of people who have money, you know. We have a very interesting economy. You have people making a lot of money and people who make very little money. I'm concerned about people in between those two groups, people who want to go to the theater, but who can't go because of the cost.
Well, I know that. The question is, are we in real danger, or are we just crying wolf?
No, I think there is a real danger. They talk about the theater as being the fabulous invalid, and we keep saying, well, it'll be this way this year, it'll get better. But I don't see it really improving. I think something serious must be done to change this system.
You certainly know Bernie Jacobs. He's the president of the Schubert Group. You have
he's my landlord.
16 and a half theaters. Okay, you've heard all the complaints. I was talking to you before we went on. You said, no way, the prices really aren't that much higher than anything else. Don't you think 90 bucks for 2 tickets is a little beyond reason, even for people with money, your point?
Of course, $90 is a lot of money. But ticket prices have always had a certain relationship to everything else in the economy, and ticket prices bear the same relationship they've always borne in the past. You compare ticket prices to a meal in a restaurant, they were always about the same thing. They're still about the same ratio to one another. I don't see how you can expect ticket prices to go down. Theater is a labor-intensive business. We have to pay our actors, our musicians, our stagehands a living wage. And the same people who worked 40 years ago for $25 or $30 a week today are making 15 and 20 times that.
But aren't we really kind of dodging the issue? Okay, so cigarettes once were, what'd you say you used to pay?
13 cents a pack.
All right, but you know, when your theater tickets get to about $90, as that guy said in the tape,
I'd rather go to the movie for $3. Joe, well, let's ask you, I mean, what do you see as an answer? Let's just not bang our
Well,
heads
this is
here.
one answer. Most civilized countries, like Great Britain, for example,
Right.
have national institutions. They have the Royal Shakespeare Company, and they have the National Theatre, where people spend less money for a ticket. They spend $15, $20 at the most. But the government underwrites that cost, makes it possible, particularly for serious works.
You think President Reagan's going to cough up money to send people to plays on Broadway?
No, he'll cough up, but I don't think it'll be money.
What do you think?
You know, we're doing a play in London called Chess, which will open on May 14th. The price for ticket for Chess will be £18.50, which, if translated into dollars, is $27.75. In Britain, a stagehand makes £60 a week, which is about 1/10 or 1/6 of what a stagehand makes in this country.
Stagehand makes about $50,000 a year. Is that right? The guy.
Well, I think that's a little high, but a grip makes about $700 a week, which is about $35,000 a year. But in addition to that, we have a benefit package for our labor, which is worth about 1/3 of their wages over again. In Great Britain, there is no benefit package.
See, let me be real blunt, okay? I don't care. All I know is if I go to the theater and it's $90, I'm going to really give it some thought. And that play better be great. Let me ask it, maybe go this other way. If the play is great, will people pay $90?
There are always people that will pay $90 or $100 or $200
So
for
maybe
a
that's the
ticket.
answer. We're pricing out the normal, everyday, average people and saying, well, so you don't go to the theater.
I
Is that
don't
what you're
think
doing?
so,
What are you
because
doing?
we have tickets available at the ticket booth for half price. We have tickets, we have cheaper tickets in the balcony, which people don't want to buy because everybody wants to sit in expensive price tickets. And, you know, years ago, Hal Prince did a show called Little Night Music. The price of the tickets was $12 in those days. And he wanted people to come in and pay lower prices, young people.
Right.
So he picked the last 3 rows of the orchestra and said, they'll be $6.75. You couldn't sell those tickets.
Okay,
They had
well,
leprosy.
let me
People all want to travel first class.
Well, so what's new? The final question then is it just realistic to say there's no relief in sight and prices are probably going to keep going up on Broadway? Yes or no?
Well, the prices will not change for theater unless prices change for everything else.
Okay, in other words...
Really.
Okay. Joe?
I think you have to deal with it in another way. If you deal it mostly on the commercial hit and miss syndrome, you'll never see Hamlet on Broadway. You'll never see any of the great plays on Broadway. You won't even see some of the contemporary drama on Broadway. There has to be another provision for that kind of theater. Let the musicals charge what the traffic will bear. But as far as theater with content is concerned, theaters that deal with serious things that people are concerned with today, there's a big audience for that. They can't afford to go to the theater.
It's just going to be subsidy.
It has to be some form of subsidy.
Great. Gentlemen, thank you both for being with us.